don't know you, man.
Oh God.
All right, we live, pal.
All right.
All
But
right, man. Y'all know what it is. I the most high, Trent Will Tolu, my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang. We about to give it to y'all. Only way we know how to. Raw, uncut, unfiltered. It's reasonable wrestling. In 3, 2, 1. Yo, I'm about to hit the intro on them niggas. It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? Been a minute. So let's go with it. Yo. Y'all know what it is. Again, this item most high, my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang. What's happening with you, brother?
I'm good. Feeling a little bit under the weather. So we're just gonna make it. I don't got a hot toddy, but I got some green juice, got some Southern Comfort. We gonna make this.
Come on.
We gonna turn it up a little
I
bit. We're gonna turn it up.
don't really know. I don't really know if those two things match, but I think they match.
Everything matches for me. It's Chitty Bang over here. Listen, we are the Underground Professional Wrestling Podcast. I am the man, Chitty Bang, and he is my co-host, tag team partner, Chris the Most High, the Underground Professional Wrestling Podcast. Sorry if my voice is a little bit raspy, but it's cold up here in New York. You know, getting a little bit of cold, a little under weather. But we're here not to talk about me and my cold. We're here to talk about wrestling. All right,
Wrestling. We're
wrestling.
gonna talk about some
Um,
wrestling.
but before we get into that, y'all check us out on RW Podcast One on Twitter. Y'all here with it on YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you're feeling us, feeling the vibes. Definitely tune into erwshop.com because we got some merch coming out soon that you might feel. And Reasonable Wrestling Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, yo. Hit the likes. Even on TikTok, check us out. We're gonna be posting some stuff up there too, coming down in the line. We gotta get more consistent on there, by the way. But we'll get there. We'll get
We
there
do, we do, we do. Yo, before we got on here, he was like, I'm gonna get on TikTok. He was like, I'm gonna do what the hoes do.
for
And
sure.
I'll be like, yo, man, I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna come on TikTok. Dot.
do not know.
Listen, man, if I gotta shake my ass for the dollars, so be it. Everything is wrestling. everything, everything is wrestling. Listen, sacrifices must be made.
I make sacrifices. So shit. Since we about to get into it, man, let's go ahead and talk about the biggest thing that everybody's talking about right now, which is Hitler's words, Hermes 10. Right? That's what
Mm.
everybody's talking about right now,
Shout
right?
out to Wes Gunn.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yes,
You know what I'm
Mr.
saying?
Wes. Last name, first name West, last name Gunn. Mr. Gunn.
yo, yo,
Holla at your boys, man. Congratulations
my
on
nigga finally
another.
dropped the finale. You know what I'm
He
saying? You've been
constantly
talking that
working.
finale shit for a minute, nigga, but he said it's the fin. He said it's the fin of it,
The
so
fin.
we'll see. You
It's,
know,
it's the bin.
it's the
it's
bin.
the bin.
Yo, nah,
Nah,
man, but niggas really talking about wrestling. Niggas talking about SmackDown. Niggas is talking about Rampage. Niggas is gearing up for motherfucking Full Gear. Niggas gearing up for Saudi. Niggas is gearing up for War Games, trying to see what Survivor Series looking like. I mean, going into November, brother,
and
we look.
we haven't even got to talk about what just popped off. And you want to congratulate Finn? I mean Wes. We got to congratulate our guy Dez. He is the new North American champion. We have not gotten a chance to talk about Halloween Havoc. So shout out to new North American champion Wesley out there in NXT.
Yes.
So proud of the man. I mean, that ladder match right there is key. It's key for him, and it's honestly the thing where I believe that is gonna skyrocket his career, just like Shawn Michaels. So I believe that he elevated, and I'm proud to see what he did out there. So I want to give him his props and just do before we get rolling. And I know we talked a little bit about it, but we never got to really delve deep on a pod.
But I think when we talk about finales, right? With excuse me, with Wes, he had a finale, but it's the beginning of something that he says is going to bring him the most absolute joy, right? He's like, yo, I'm wholeheartedly just doing what the fuck I want to do now. On Wes Lee's side, right? Your work is now beginning. This is not a finale for you. That was a finale in a chapter.
Chapter, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like I think, we talk about the 10 the Hermes series, right? This is the fin. This is the closing of the book, right? Like I did this for 10 years. This is what Wes, this is gonna be you, man. This is the beginning. This is your Hitler Hermes 1.
Yeah, it is. It's the
like you going after it right now. Like you got
life was full circle. So we got, the beginnings of Wes Lee and the finale of Hermes and West Side Gun. Both Wes's are doing big things, and we got to give both of them props right now. Because listen, if you're a real one out here and you're doing your thing and you're working hard and you betting on yourself, listen, both men go out there and bet on yourself. West Side Gun and what he's built with Griselda, what he's built with his brand Hermes. Wes Lee losing his tag partner and betting on himself and like I'm a single star and really hitting the pavement and grinding all the past year to get to where he's at right now. I think they're both a testament to what you can do when you bet on yourself and you say, you know what, I believe in myself, and you're gonna go out there and do it for yourself, and make it happen.
Also, this is a testimony too. Not to cut you off, but this is also a testimony too. Like, be endearing to the fan base that's endearing to you, right?
Yeah.
Both Wes's did not try and grab quote unquote fan bases that didn't understand them, that didn't want to be like the two niggas that are succeeding right now on West Side Gun and Wes Lee, and the people that are propelling them and elevating them, which is their fans and the supporters, are niggas that doing with them from the beginning. Right? Niggas that appreciate the grind, niggas that appreciate the blood, sweat, and tears that put into it. Like, and they was like, yo, Wes was like, yo, I can go and see if people cheer me in 10,000 fan arena stadiums. But right now, I got to work this 250 people venue right now. Yeah. I got to really make this nigga attachable to these people right now, because those people is going to influence 250 more people. And it's those people, and that's what I remember Weston performing for 250 people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like getting niggas to buy 250 tickets to come see a Griselda show. Now niggas can sell out arenas if they wanted to, or go on tour. And I think Wes Lee is going to be on the same trajectory. Once he makes his name for himself right now, when he goes on tour, when he hits the road, niggas is going to know Wes Lee, bro. And shout out to him. And that was a great way to start the show, man. I was not anticipating us going that way. But yeah, man, I appreciate Wes Lee, man. That's my bro. That's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? He became a friend of the show off the humbug, literally. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The nigga lived in our same apartment complex and I was walking the dogs and he thought my dogs was cute and sparked the conversation. That's 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the homie Dez. Shout out to the homie Wes Lee. Shout out to the homie West Side Gun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Jericho's on the album. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Jericho promo on the joint when Wes was at the show.
Okay.
Jericho ended up retweeting it. It was like, catch me on West Side Gun's album and shit. You know what I mean? A little signal boost. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's appreciated. It's necessary. You know.
It is definitely appreciated and necessary. I think that it's all about the authenticity. We've been talking about it since the beginning of this pod. Authenticity, and if you believe in yourself and you're authentic, the universe gives you what you need for, you to proceed with your fan base, whatever. So I respect the hell out of those two dudes, and I can't wait to see what comes next because, I know West Side ain't done, and we all know Wes Lee is just getting started. So I can't wait.
Now, speaking of authenticity and being true to themselves, I do want to move to our other guy, another guy that we bought over, Bray. Bray is showing his true artistic whims right now, right? Like he is on what can be considered not even wrestling, right? He's really conducting
His
WWE
own
films, right?
live film.
These are
Yeah.
live WWE plays, right? These are live WWE, like these, like it's phenomenal to fucking see right now, dog.
Bray, and we've seen this for a minute. Like when he first came with the Wyatt family, you know, that was impactful. But then what he did with the Fiend and the Playhouse, it it was taking us into a whole different world. And what he's doing right now is like doubling down on that and slowly telling the story of Bray's redemption almost. At the same time, we all know who he's capable of. And he's like, I think he's just dropping little teases of what's going to happen in this. We can't really tell, but just like the Funhouse, the trickle in of what he did with that, like we didn't know what he was doing when he was like first started that. I was like, what's going on with Bray? Like, why do you have him doing this? And then eventually it made sense. So I trust him enough right now to just give him his time and let him cook, because it feels like Bray always now has earned himself a separate part of the show. Like we got like 30-40 minutes just for fucking Bray. Like this is you're taking our audience to a whole new world, and that's how it feels. And I'm really happy to see him because I want to see where this goes, and he has the freedom to create something new, another leg, another stretch of what he's going to be going forward.
A word that you used that I did not want to get away from was trust. And for creative to garner trust from your investors and trusting your fans, those two don't always motherfucking align. And these are fucking aligning right now, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. That's like you like as a to like have a vision for something. Like, okay, I just need you to follow me with this. Like, can you follow me with this? And they're like, cool, we'll follow you with this.
Yeah.
And then you ask your fans to be like, hey, I got something, like I got a vision. Can you follow me? They're like, yeah, hell yeah, we'll follow you. Like, it doesn't come to this type of fucking crescendo like this.
I think we're just getting started with Bray too. You know, it's funny thing about it is like we all clamored for him to come back, and now he's back and he's cutting these promos where he's like, this is just me and you, just me and you. He's just, and granted, I think that he's partially speaking from the heart, you know, when he says these things, because I think he's been through a lot over the past year. But he's taking his pain and putting it into his artwork, which I appreciate, you know, and saying that he's been to dark places and all that stuff. I really do appreciate it because I think it's kind of like a blending of character and like reality and fiction in a certain way. Now, if you guys we've been talking all this time, and you guys don't know what we're talking about the introduction of Bray Wyatt and his promos on SmackDown. He has been cutting consistent promos on SmackDown, getting time on the mic, but he keeps on getting interrupted at the end of his promos by some masked demon face, or and last week it's like, you don't know me, but you will know me, and all that stuff. This week we got a little bit more of it, and it was a mask after his promo saying that he's dealing with his demons and he's fighting them, and he he almost feels like he likes doing bad things and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of, you don't know where it's going, but then they have this mask come up and he says howdy, and they're showing it throughout the night in SmackDown. And apparently this is his Uncle Howdy, apparently. Creepy ass mask. Creepy ass mask. And Bray knows how to make you feel creepy inside when he whether it's a fiend, whether it's that, he knows how to. He's taken the supernatural side of things to and elevated it in wrestling, in my opinion. Like where Undertaker was, we just accepted him as the dead man, and we're like, man, you're a legend. He's now taking it and making like art storylines from that supernatural layer. And I love it. I appreciate it, because we don't know what Uncle Howdy is, but we all know that Uncle Howdy knows Bray. We all know that Uncle Howdy knows his demons. And Uncle Howdy's saying that you're not true to who you are. You're a liar, and you're always going to be pretty much a villain in a sense. And I believe that I don't know what this means or where it's going, but they did show a QR code again on SmackDown, and if you follow the QR code in your phone and you look it up, it went to Bray's a psychiatric kind of like, what do you call it? A psychiatric like note or progress note on Bray Wyatt and how he has mental health issues and he's prone to violence and dark as he's dark inside, and it's just a layer, and we'll see where this goes. It seems like Bray right now in the WWE is brilliant enough to have a feud with himself, and that's what it really looks like. He's feuding with himself upon arrival back in WWE, which is gonna be interesting to see how it manifests on screen.
I don't think it's that. I think
so far that's what it's been. Like he hasn't really had a opponent. It's just been these promos. It's just been like.
I mean, is he supposed to have an opponent 2 weeks back? You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not saying 2 weeks back, but I'm saying this is two different sides of Bray. Like we're clearly seeing that Bray is just trying to be human and give his real self in the ring, and the crowd's with him. And then we see this,
I'm not gonna fall down. For me, Bray has already been human, right? Bray has already. He's never been like a monster. Like the Fiend was a character, right? Like the Fiend was an embodiment of Bray, right? I looking at the character arc of Bray has always been in a human form.
Okay, what I mean by human is like I'm trying to be relatable as a human, not because I think the cult leader Bray is still a supernatural. Everything he did with the cult leader, it was very much not like he put on a mask or anything, but he was a person who was dark. It was a dark character, dark themes, motifs.
But that wasn't super. Like that's what I'm saying, and that's what I say. I think me and you is it's okay for us to have these different, because what I'm looking at it as when I'm listening to you is Bray world building within, right? Like these are variants of Bray Wyatt, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like the cult leader wasn't supernatural, but he was
more psychological in nature. And that what I meant, but he did have moments that were supernatural, whether it's bringing all the druids out, bringing all the girls, or singing. He got the whole world in his hands. Even the crab walk, like it's a thing. Obviously maybe it's just psychological games, but he had elements of supernatural. Then he went all the way with the Fiend.
It has been always had a tinge of deities or of
Sister Abigail, all that stuff.
Exactly, being led by something other than himself, which I could understand that.
Yeah.
With this current version of Bray, if I can be completely like just transparent, I don't want to even make assumptions of what it is yet. Like it's almost like Kang the Conqueror, right? You see that one scene in Low Key, and everybody's trying to figure out how the fuck they gonna make him Kang. How is they gonna make him Kang after this? Like, because this ain't Kang. I watched the comics, I read the comics, this ain't Kang. But if you are paying attention, this is a variant of Kang. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Kang from a different time telling you about Kang. So in Bray's mind, Bray is only able to tell you Bray in the time of where he's at psychologically. So when we're looking at Uncle Howdy,
so do you look at it like as a separate, like this is like a new washing the page of Bray? Do you think like it's a new chapter like of Bray completely, like, or like you don't forget about the old stuff? Like, is this?
I think this is a continuation of.
Okay.
I'm saying this is a continuation. This is this isn't necessarily Cody coming back from being Stardust and Cody Rhodes. This isn't necessarily Drew McIntyre coming back being Drew McIntyre. This is different, but it's the same, right? We're seeing Bray Wyatt, and outside of him professionally being different, we never really see somebody be mentally different outside of Drew, outside of Cody. Their mentality to the business is different. The mentality to the character necessarily doesn't change unless there's a change to the entire character.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Bray right now and I'm seeing that he is all of that wrapped into one. He is Drew and Cody coming back from a time where he wasn't what he was supposed to be or build as or saw himself as. He left to go get help to come back and be better, or he left to go hone himself to come back and be better. But what I'm seeing right now in this is that he didn't leave to go get better, or he tried to leave and go get better. But the worst is always there. And in life, to me, again, that's why I try not to draw a parallel, but I'm seeing it like in life, whenever we are in a down moment and crawl ourselves out of that, and there is sunshine, there is no doubt without us subconsciously in the back of our mind about the time we did bad, about the time something's going to go bad, about the time we're going to do something fucked up, about the time if we're trying to not be going down the wrong path that we can go. That happens in real life subconsciously. And I think right now this is Bray playing out Wyndham. Wyndham is creating a version of himself in Bray.
Okay, yeah.
And therefore, we are seeing a lot more Wyndham in Bray, but this is still a variant of Bray Wyatt.
Okay, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you. I get you. I can see where that plays in to the situation. However, I well, we just gotta wait and see. Like this Uncle Howdy thing, I'm just gonna watch. When I think of Uncle Howdy, like I'm looking at the blonde hair, I'm looking at the hat, I see, Wyndham, like Black Jack Mulligan, his uncle, his actual uncle,
No,
Barry
Black
Windham.
Jack Mulligan was his Black Jack, but Black Jack Mulligan was his granddad. Barry
I
Windham.
mean, well, a mixture of the Barry Windham, his uncle, and then maybe that, but I get those vibes with those guys, when I look at the face, the gear,
but that's what I'm saying. That's what
he's influenced by.
But that's what the original Bray Wyatt was Dan Spivey. And I wrote the fan fiction. I wrote the fan fiction of Dan Spivey and Kevin Sullivan seeking out Bray Wyatt to be the prodigal son of evil. You know what I'm saying? And like this is right. Again, we're talking about Kane the Conqueror. A variant of Kane was Iron Lad, because Kane did not want to be what he was supposed to be and went back in time to be a version of Iron Man, of the Iron Lad of the Young Avengers. But ultimately that created more fucking turmoil, and ultimately he had to kill himself and go back to being who, because you are the origin of evil. You know what I'm saying? Like that is what you are. And I think right now we're seeing the tales being told right now of Bray Wyatt ultimately cannot get away from evil. It's just like the Spawn suit. Like once it's fucking wrapped up, once it touches you, my nigga, you're wrapped in it. And I think Bray's trying to find a way not to be Spawn, and he can't help it.
I hear you. I like it. I mean, it reminds me of a lot what you wrote, man. So yeah, definitely. I feel like this is crazy how things kind of manifest over time that we speak of. But this is like when I saw this Uncle Howdy, the first thing I thought it was a script that you wrote. But I'm looking forward to seeing where this evolves to, because obviously we trust Bray. We've been trusting Bray. He's our favorite wrestler. So we'll see where this goes forward. I can't wait. We'll touch on like this, and because let me just say, I like where my favorite wrestlers are. Put it this way, because like AEW, MJF, and Bray in WWE, that middle ground of like not being able to not be bad, like, I like where they're at. Like, we don't know where it's gonna go. So, and
do
it's
we
like there's a parallel.
do we just make breaking breaking news that MJF is your favorite wrestler of AEW?
Is that breaking news? I've been saying MJF is my favorite for a minute. Who I think other than like in AEW, probably he's my favorite. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. The AEW, he's your favorite in AEW.
yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of people would say that. I'm not alone in that. He like a lot of people are big fans of him, but he makes the show interesting. Man, he really does. He does. He adds a lot to the show. I tune in to watch him. Like Daniel Bryan would have been that, or Brian Danielson, but he's just been in and out.
Do
A
you want to
lot.
bounce? Do you want to bounce from where we just went from Bray to AEW and talk
We
about
might
that?
as well. We
Fuck it.
freestyling.
We're freestyling today.
We got a lot to talk about, anyways.
Tell me how you feel about that. Tell me.
Okay, so like,
Tell me.
here's my Bray, AEW, and MJF and Bray and W and MJF and AEW. I feel like they're in this middle ground of like fans love these guys, right? But these guys have been dastardly bad dudes in the past, and it's like, all right, now that the fans loved you so much, you guys have come back because the fans wanted you back so much, even though you guys were in character the worst, most evil guys we've ever seen it in the companies. How do we now use this energy that the fans have and love for you to create something of a masterpiece? And the thing with Bray, and I would go a certain way with it, but I just only want to say what I would do with Bray because it'd probably be way times better, like what they're gonna actually do. But with MJF, I have a vision for where he should end up, and it's more of how do they, turn this guy into the next biggest star in AEW? How do they capitalize off of what's going on in AEW with this match at Full Gear with Jon Moxley this week? We saw MJF tell the firm, his group on retainer, is pretty much he has hired goons to help him out when the time needed, and he's like what's his name, Malcolm Bivens, or Stokely Hathaway now, I should say. Stokely Hathaway came up to MJF and said, "Listen, you got you got this match Full Gear with Jon Moxley. Yo, we can take him out for you." And MJF said, "Listen, if you lay a finger on him, you're fired." He's like, I want to be Jon Moxley on my own. I want to be able to show the world that I'm better than him, and you know it." And he had this promo with Renee Young. Go check it out on YouTube. I thought it was another stellar promo. He imitated Jon Moxley. It was hilarious, and the fans ate it up. So later on in the show, after Jon Moxley's match with Penta, he wins the match. He retains his title. The firm comes out and attacks Jon Moxley, going completely against MJF's wishes. So MJF is conflicted. He comes out. He's like, "Should I come out for the save? What are you doing? Should I go?" He ends up coming down and getting the firm off him. Like, "Yo, what are you doing, guys? Like, I told y'all not to touch him." He then fires them. And what does the firm do? They jump his ass. They beat him down. Ethan Page hits him with a power bomb. Big Cass, or whatever they're calling him now, W. Morrissey, choke slammed him through a table, and he gets a ton of sympathy. And I'm in the place right now where I'm like, where do we go with this? Do we actually do what everybody's thinking, or do we? Because people are still on the fence of, will this be a ruse where MJF is literally going to go back and cheat to win and be the heel that we all knew he was all along, and be the representation of the heel, the bad guy, the evil in AEW, which we're still on the fence with that. And it can go either way, or he can just win it as a babyface and become the next biggest babyface in the AEW. And this is now him taking the reins as the top babyface in AEW. I have an alternative option, an alternative scenario that I would like to pose. And you tell me what you think about this. But I mentioned it to you earlier in a conversation yesterday before we were supposed to pod, but here we are. Because everybody's like wondering, how can this? It's going to go one or the other way. You have MJF cheating to win and become an AEW champion, or he doesn't cheat and he's now AEW champion and he actually achieves the goal of, becoming AEW not winning, or Jon Moxley just beats him. What if we do a double turn? What if Jon Moxley cheats to beat MJF and retains the championship, and MJF in turn becomes the biggest babyface, but without the championship, and Jon Moxley in turn becomes the biggest heel with the championship and the Blackpool Combat Club by his side? That's what I personally think would be the best and most impactful change in AEW after Full Gear, if they can pull that off.
A double turn. Mox being heel works. This is how we determine whether MJF is really on that level or not, right? Because what does a babyface run look like?
It looks similar to what he's been doing the past couple of weeks. I'll tell you that.
I mean, but yeah, but that well runs dry. Okay, hypothetical. Who's his next opponent?
It could be literally anybody. Like it literally.
He's
MJF,
a babyface now, though.
It could literally be anybody.
It can't be literally anybody. A babyface Adam Hangman Page versus a babyface MJF does not work.
They just did that with Moxley. Like, you realize that AEW has been doing those kind of matches all the way through. They've had heel versus heel. They've had, face versus face. But, like, I feel like, especially with the MJF guy, like, it's going to be entertaining. That's all that matters. It's like, especially with MJF, it's going to be entertaining. So whether it's a face or a heel, he's got the mic skills to make you laugh, make you cry, make you, tell a story, make you intrigued in whatever he's going to build with them. It could be anybody, honestly, on the roster. It could be Chris Jericho, it could be Sammy Guevara, it could be Bryan Danielson, it could be Jon Moxley. He doesn't have to be champion because, as a matter of fact, in my storyline, he's not champion. He's still got to grind to get it. He's not going to be champion after this. He's just the biggest babyface. And Jon Moxley is now the biggest heel, who's now, like, gonna, do whatever it takes to hold on to that championship. And for reasons that he obviously has of, no, I'm the kingpin, and and the Blackpool Combat Club is not about honor, it's about violence. So if I can win in any violent way, I'm going to take it. And MJF was like, all right, so you're a hypocrite. You can just call him out for being a hypocrite, and that you continue that storyline until MJF becomes champion. We still got other people that he could feud with, so I think there's multiple ways you can go about this. MJF could feud with Adam Cole when he comes back, Kenny Omega. There's tons of people that, are on the roster that can match up with a babyface MJF. But I'm telling you, MJF has a way of knocking them all down on the microphone. So you got to come and step up if you're gonna really, try to challenge this guy out there, because he's gonna make you look silly. He's making Jon Moxley look silly every week, and Jon Moxley's great on the mic, in my mind.
Is he making them look silly? Realistically,
he is. He's really getting, like, people to kind of flip on Moxley. So you might as well go with a double turn. You might as well. He's calling him out for being fake. It's the same thing that you said years ago, all that tough guy shit. Like, you don't got to do all that if you're tough. And it's funny, he's doing exactly what you said. Like, the whole shoulder movements and shit. Like, you said this years ago on our podcast. We can pull it up. This is back when he was in WWE, like, and now he's calling him out for that bullshit. So it's like perfect shit that I would like.
I told you somebody steal from me all the time, man. I'm super influential on here, man. Low key.
Yo, but it's the truth. Like, but you touch on things though that literally the fan base is that people think, you touch on things that people think and people want, that people may not be saying on TV, and eventually boom, it shows up and it's like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And he's using that in this feud, which I think is brilliant. It's brilliant, honestly. I don't want to see MJF turn heel. Me personally, I don't want to see him cheat to win. That's the last thing I want to see. I'd rather him lose by not winning, by not cheating, or I want him to lose. I mean, win by not cheating. I want him, either way. I want him to actually keep his word this time.
Now that builds again the word trust, right? That builds equity within fans, with MJF. If he says, "I kept my word, I didn't cheat, but I did my damnedest to win," and Moxley put my tights or held the ropes, or you know what I'm
Use the
saying?
freaking
Like,
brass knucks. That's what I want to see. Moxley gets the brass knucks from William Regal. He knocks that bitch out and pins him, and it's like poetic justice. Even
well, I would say that either because if Regal gets involved, the only way I would want Regal involved is if Regal turns on Mox. Because MJF is not going to be in the Blackpool Combat Club. Now, I do feel you like that group. If you're looking at that group, right, the dissension within the group seems that there's some cracks because, you know, Brian Danielson, man, listen, I know you've been losing a lot, my nigga, so I can get to you. You feel me? Like, I can completely understand that. So he taking his frustration out on people that don't need it. But Wheeler Yuta standing up for himself, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you brought me in here because I got some dog in me, nigga. So what's happening? You know what I'm saying? So like, we got a Claudio trying to be peacemaker because he's literally Switzerland neutral. You know what I'm saying? So
Did I?
and you know what I'm saying? So the nigga just trying to play up to his gimmick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how strong that group is. I don't know how.
And think about John Moxley cheating to win, how much that adds even more dissension in that group, which adds more story to me. Like you got, how does Daniel Bryan react to that? How does Wheeler Yuta react to that? You guys brought me in here, but you guys are now just like the people that were in the freaking Jericho Appreciation Society. Essentially, you cheating to win.
Yeah.
There's so much that could be layers to that you can go with, and MJF. I think he should be the babyface of AEW. I think that's how you make Full Gear the best show. And if John Moxley wins, he's like, listen, I didn't come here to play nice with anybody. I didn't come here to be your freaking superhero. I came here to fuck people up and be champion and show y'all that I'm a fucking legend. I came back from alcohol abuse and all that shit, and I ain't letting this title leave my hands.
I ain't taking vacation. You think I'm gonna let this motherfucker beat me?
Yeah, I bled for y'all. I'm doing all this, and you guys want to side with him, the guy with the scarf? Nah, I'm here, and let him go complete full heel. Give Moxley that spot as the heel champion.
That'd be fire. I'll fuck with that. I'll fuck with now bouncing from one baby face to another. The biggest baby face in WWE right now, Sami Uso.
Sami Uso.
Yo, I made my wife watch that segment, and she like, are they laughing? They're not supposed to be laughing. Like, look at him, he's laughing. And I'm like, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, these niggas are breaking. Like, everybody's breaking right now, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying.
It's so crazy. Sammy breaks him every single time. He's like, you're not really Usi. They just gave him a look.
What's crazy is he get the nigga Jay riled up. Now, I know Jay, because I'm Jay. I know a Jay when I see a Jay, because I'm a Jay. I see Jay, and this nigga gaslighting him, you know what I'm saying? And this nigga's like, nobody give a fuck what the tribal chief say. And when you get riled up, call my daddy, call my mom. I don't give a fuck, man. Call my mama. Oh, really? She's on speakerphone. I'm like, That wasn't even me talking. That wasn't even me. Somebody know how to impersonate my voice, and they said it. I ain't even say it. So when the nigga Roman about to check Jay, and Sammy say, yo, look, Roman, my nigga just not feeling Usi. Like, like, he just not feeling it. So just give him a minute. My nigga Roman took that. And this is where the live improv shit, like the hearing of the crowd, like, ooh, see. And Roman like, oh, these motherfuckers want me to say it. Oh, these motherfuckers want me to say it. I bet. I'm gonna say it. And when Roman say Uzi, nigga, they like, oh, damn, nigga, I'm laughing.
Now Uzi's a thing. It's a thing now, you know.
Laugh,
they got Uzi over, man. Oh man, this is incredible. Not only did you know, I want to watch it. My sister watched the segment. My nephew's back from football. He watched the segment, and they're like, yeah, this is finally getting good. You know, because you know they're seeing the tension. They're seeing you know what's going on with the bloodline, and I love it. You know, I think that this is great way to keep the bloodline relevant while there really isn't a heavyweight contender for Roman. You know, it's be honest, like Logan Paul, I'm sorry guys, to me he's not really a contender. This is a spectacle match, a crown jewel. There's no way Logan Paul is winning this match. But to keep the character work going on with Jay, Sammy, even with you know Jimmy and Solo, and now Roman comes back as if like you know when they start arguing in the ring, and then you hit that that music hits, you know. They all stop in their tracks, and it's like, oh shit, business is about to pick up.
That's what I'm like. Jay, I believe, is the oldest, if I'm not mistaken. Right? He's older by Jimmy by I think they said like a day or a half or something like or half a day or some shit like that. Like he's older. So Jay's older. The only big nigga he had to like respond to was either Pops, Uncle, or Joey, aka Roman. Like, so Jay ain't never had a big brother, but he has a big brother. So like, ain't nobody gonna motherfucking control me. Jimmy pulled that nigga to the side, Jay, like, what's up, nigga? Like, nigga, I beat your ass while mama watching, nigga. What's up? Solo tried to get a nigga. Nigga, I know you ain't a baby brother. Nigga, Darren Sammy to pull up, nigga. I've been waiting to beat your ass. Been waiting. Touch me if you want.
I cannot wait for that match. I can't.
Nigga, and then Roman come out, and this nigga like, fuck. I ain't the big dog no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like,
it's been great, so, man.
Like, it was like the storytelling. Like, I see it. I see the dynamic in it. Like, it's
awesome because it like it plays until 3 years ago. Was it 3 years ago or 2 years ago? It plays right back into how Jay was like, yo, I could be champion.
Jay never said. Jay never acknowledged that nigga.
He did, didn't he?
He only did it because Jimmy was in a guillotine, bro. Yeah. Jay never acknowledged Roman, bro. Jay never stood down for that tribal chief shit, nigga. Like, never. Only because his brother came back. He saved his brother, and then Jimmy was like, bro, get on, bro. Like, get on. We tag team, nigga. What's the single shit you talking about? Get on, bro. But Jay, like, it's been an opportunity for me to take this nigga down. Like, this nigga never really gave me a fair shake, nigga. We was in that cell getting it in, nigga. Like, I ain't quit. I ain't quit, nigga. So, like, yeah, the dynamic of it
I'm gonna go back and watch that match. That match is epic.
Jay ain't never stood down to that nigga, but only to save his brother, nigga. That's it.
So, like, just the, you know, because they could have chose anybody in the bloodline to be that. They could have chose Jimmy. They chose Jay because Jay, and he performs it so well, the hothead side. But the thing about it is, you got Sammy, who is just so good with his improv. He's like, hey, it gets the best of us, and then Jay just breaks. He starts holding his face.
Jay is trying to. Jay he like.
He's trying so hard.
Like he trying, nigga. But when Roman say, you need to be Uzi.
Yeah, these epic, these.
Yo, but that wasn't even the part though. The part was that he told the nigga, I'm gonna make this nigga a full-blown Us and call him Sammy Uso. And when he said that, nigga, Jimmy was like, "Oh, nigga, I didn't know that." You know what I'm saying?
It's like, oh, you're taking the bridge too far, man.
Jimmy was like, "Oh shit, really, nigga? You tripping?" You know what I'm saying? Like, Uso, like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, no way.
Yo, so yeah, man, that storyline is holding it down.
The
Brother.
bloodline right now is one of the biggest things in wrestling, if not the biggest. And like, I mean, I'm enjoying it. But one thing I gotta ask going forward, because they got the tag team titles right now, Jimmy and Jey Uso, they're facing the Brawling Brutes at Crown Jewel, which they had a good match too with them prior, with Pete Dunne and and was it Sammy? Yeah.
Rick, no, Pete,
Solo and Sammy
Solo
versus
and Sammy,
Pete Dunne and Rich
yeah.
Holland.
Yep.
And Pete Dunne and Rich Holland got the match. Good match. Got a lot of confusion happened with Sammy and Jay, so that they lost the match. But I don't see them beating them for championships, obviously, at Crown Jewel. I think the Usos will win. But what I'm more interested in is where you go from there, because we're like a couple weeks ago from them taking the lead as the most longest reigning SmackDown champions since the New Day.
Yep.
Do we get that match, New Day versus Usos, one more time to say, listen, if you got to go get the record, you got to come through us again? I want to see it.
Well, I think that's why the New Day has, if you're not paying attention, kind of been remaining kind of hot, you know, little kind of. And I think if we really paying attention, Big E making his return.
I hope so.
He was just, and not his return, not even necessarily his in-ring return, but just his presence. Like, I think his presence,
it would mean something. Yeah.
It would mean a lot for that match. It would mean a lot for those titles.
I just need a Big E Solo face off. That's all I need. Just getting his face. Like, yeah, you're not gonna over, take my brothers. You're not gonna, try to cheat to help them. Just to have him be an enforcer outside the ring. What's up, EPW?
Yo, what's good, Conrad? Let's lock in Conrad right now. Let's do something next month, man. Whether yeah, New Day. let's lock something in next month. Whether it be Crown Jewel, whether it be Survivor Series, brother. Let's link up. Everything is wrestling with everything pro wrestling, reasonable wrestling. Whole lot of motherfucking wrestlings in there, because we're gonna be talking a whole lot of wrestling, man.
Word. You gotta come on the show, man, for sure. I'd love to have your takes on it. Do they overcome the Usos? I mean, the New Day? Do the Usos beat the record? And I'm at a place where I don't know, because I
think. Listen, yes, and then this is my answer why. Shout out to the titles. That was a little heavy. Bet I'll hop in the DMs, bro. I'll DM. Matter of fact, multitask. This is where I say why. The New Day beat that record, and it was significant, and it was synonymous, and it really solidified their legacy as a tag team, because we talk all the time, right? Makeshift tag teams. That was a makeshift tag team that we let breathe, that we let give time, that we let build up their own identity, their own fucking repertoire. We allowed them to be the New Day, which we don't always do. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Street Profits. Angelo Dawson was a tag team partner of fucking Dash Wilder, my nigga. Like, sometimes tag team niggas just don't mix. So
I'll be honest with you. I don't look at New Day or Street Profits as makeshift tag teams, not because they gave them time either. I think that where you're at as far as your cachet as a superstar, when they put you with somebody else, matters. If you guys have not been single stars where you've won multiple championships, as a single star, I know Kofi was, but putting him with Big E and Xavier at the time when he was not really hot is different than taking a Drew McIntyre and putting him with Sheamus and saying they're a tag team, or Drew McIntyre putting him with Dolph Ziggler and saying they're a tag team all of a sudden.
Well, I'm sorry. Just to compare just to stay on top.
They took them off TV too. They took them off TV. They gave them packages. It was a whole rebrand.
But Kofi was tag team champion with Evan Bourne and CM Punk.
That was makeshift. Yeah.
So seeing him, there was it was a repetition thing with Kofi at the time.
To me, them putting them in that promo on TV, taking them off TV, doing the promo packages with them in the church, made these three guys feel like, okay, they're new. It felt brand new, like they're forming something actually of substance.
Well,
You know,
Kofi was, I think,
absolutely lost in the show.
They won three, and this is where I say, okay, Big E was already Intercontinental Champion, which, right? Kofi was multiple-time champion over 3 divisions, Intercontinental, United States, and tag by that portion. Xavier Woods was the only man that we didn't know and didn't see and didn't have a presence in WWE. So we seeing him as a manager and Kofi and Big E as a tag team, that made sense. Now I hear what you're saying. They repackaged everybody together. They still kept their name. They still kept their kind of thing. But what they did was that whole repackaging that they did was essentially like, I don't think it was a lifeboat.
It was like, though. They gave him a group name, New Day, the New Day.
I'm saying this. I am equating these niggas as the ones who made it from Cuba to Miami, right? You don't.
It didn't. Okay, that wasn't enough. I think what you're saying. Yeah, it wasn't just enough to make them over.
You give them a tire and say, "Huh, here go to Ocean," and like them niggas like direction. Nah, okay, cool. Like they had to really make that shit work.
I feel you.
Rated RKO, or Legacy, or let's say what else? A throwaway tag team. I'll use Dolph. You mentioned Dolph and Drew McIntyre, right? I can hear what you're saying is like
they just took 2 guys and said, "Hey,
you're 2 guys." You just like you throw them in together.
Yeah,
I saw and I appreciate
even Swerving on Glory. I think that it's a makeshift tag team.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Is that they just took 2 guys, put together, and gave them a name.
Absolutely,
this was a little bit different to me. I mean, and that's just my opinion. Other people can look at them like they're makeshift, and I grant it, but they definitely earned their cachet to the point where they were the longest reigning SmackDown champions, which they earned. Which they earned a title that if they erase it, the Usos erase it. Man, that's gonna be interesting. Their biggest competition as a tag team, honestly, as now overtaking them. Now, do they try to get it back? I mean, what happens?
I think for the most part, though, when you ask what do they do, I think it's necessary that New Day, like we said, they are remaining relevant. They are remaining hot. They're remaining seen. They are remaining, lubricated, if you will, by just having some ring action because they know that at some point in time, yes, they are going to be either the door that closes it or that extends the run of the Usos. And it's only necessary. Like, again, they were the 2 tag teams that re-energized what we thought was a dead stock division in WWE. Like, you were on the podcast, like you say, it's shit that we can bring up. You're like, man, these niggas don't give a fuck about, like Kanye West. Vince McMahon don't care about tag teams. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just it. Like Vince McMahon
he didn't. He still doesn't probably shit.
Yeah.
But
so but they put the shit on their back and they brought validity to that division. And I think that is only I think that if New Day, Usos, prominent tag team match, tag team championships. It matters.
If you're gonna do it though. If you're gonna do it, I want to see an Iron Man match.
Big E doesn't make his return until he has to make the save. We don't know Big E's there until, y'all want to go big? Then say that. And that shit blow the fucking roof off. Nigga.
I like Big E as an enforcer to say that they can't outnumber them. You got Uso, you got Solo Sikoa. You got to have Big E there just to protect. Listen, if you guys got to go through me at the end of the day. But I want to see an Iron Man tag team match. We haven't really seen that. An Iron Man tag team match. We've seen 2 out of 3 falls. We've seen all that. But an Iron Man tag team match for the record, I like that. And a SmackDown main event, I would like to see
that's what I'm saying. Like if they
30 minutes,
if they do a la Kurt, a la Brock, and say, look, y'all just got no commercials, full blown this year. In honor of like, the SmackDown 6 or SmackDown shit like that, like I think that shit would be fire. I think that shit would be totally fucking dope, man. My man say VKM doesn't want to pay 2 to 4 people for one match. Hell yeah, nigga. He'll break. Listen, he'll pay all 6 niggas to have 3 singles matches just so he don't have to have a match.
Oh man. But I'm curious to see where this lands though with the Usos and tags, and I want to see the match again because I mean they have super chemistry, so I can't wait. And yes, I do want to see Big E return on some capacity. I'm not sure if he can get physical. That's why I'm saying the run-in, he might have to get hit physical. But him just coming out and having a face off and then backing off, like, all right, we'll see you next time. That might work. I mean, I want him to get hurt. I want to be healthy. So
what's crazy? As we talking, how does motherfucker Ridge Holland a baby face right now? This nigga broke Big E neck. What the fuck?
Listen, man, he apologized. He brought Big E's like
I must have forgot. Nigga, I ain't forget. Fuck that.
Listen, the guy's cursed. He can't help it, man. He didn't mean to do it.
Man,
it's a child's curse, dog.
What, man? Oh, what's going on with that nigga? Shit. Outside of before we wrap up on SmackDown, one more thing I do want to bring up that happened on SmackDown. Emma back. Oh, horrible image. Let me
Make that smaller.
Damn, nigga. Shit, just fuck, nigga. Fuck you, Google.
You gotta do big sizes, man, large sizes. But listen, I really don't care about. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sorry, but Emily. You know what's funny about Emma? She's a great wrestler. Never been like into her character at all, but she's good in the ring. Which she had a good match with Ronda, which is dope. Ronda cheated to win too. But what I was more interested in,
shout out Ronda being a heel. Love that.
Ronda being a heel, yeah. And then backstage, her Shayna Baszler gave her congratulations. Natty comes up, you're the luckiest woman in the world because I wasn't.
Bitch, shut up.
Yo, Shayna choked her ass out.
Shut that shit up.
Yeah.
And shout out to Shayna showing her allegiance.
Yeah.
Because prior to, she couldn't choose sides.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
She was like, you know what? I don't even like fucking cats. Okay? And even though I'm a dyke, you married, so I can't even see those titties. And you won't put me on Jenny. So get the fuck out of here.
Choke that bitch out real quick with her quickness. And I was like, yes, Ronda and Shayna together. And Shayna with the enforcer and Ronda as the heel. I like the look.
Yes,
love it. I love it.
I could have put you on a solo shot to go get my chips, but
no, it's all good. It's all good, man. That's all I got to say. For real. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens because I have a sneaking suspicion that this leads to. I would rather it be Becky returning against Ronda, to be honest. But I have a sneaking suspicion that we're getting Charlotte again. I'm hoping not, because we don't want to see a Charlotte babyface run again. For once, Triple H, you know better than Vince. That shit don't work. So let's see where it goes, because I need Charlotte with Bianca. And I need Becky with Ronda. That's what I'm waiting for. And then we get Sasha and Naomi hopefully at War Games and go after Io and Dakota Kai. And I'm rock hard, baby. Rock hard, baby. Listen, man. We all know that's booking right there. That's the booking.
That's fucking booking right there, brother. Yeah.
Speaking of booking, we should get into our Booking Black and moving up along from SmackDown back to AEW for a little bit. We got Booking Black, our man Will Hobbs.
Yes, sir.
Him along with
that motherfucking image. Hold on one time, down. Let me get it.
got image problems right here. Listen, image dysfunction over here. Man, but Will Hobbs and I think Brian Cage took out Samoa Joe, War Joe. But what we're more concerned about is Will Hobbs raising that TNT championship up in the air. Listen, we called it. We wanted to see it.
Yes, we did.
And we're gonna see it. Wardlow and Will Hobbs, big meaty men slapping meat.
Bumping meat, my nigga. Like, look like, and I think Will, yeah.
Powerhouse.
Let me put the image up while you say that, dog.
Yes, baby. So do we see Powerhouse become the new TNT champion? I don't know, but I would love to see it. I think he definitely would be a great champion. I wouldn't mind him and Wardlow having like a series a couple matches because I'm curious to see where this leads.
What do white bitches say? That's hot, right? That's hot. That
got
nigga
the gold
look
chain, got the gold title. Yeah, I like it, man. And Wardlow's been needing an actual challenger. He can't just be squashing people every day, power bombing them over and over again. He needs an actual challenger for Full Gear. So this is something that's going to be definitely a must. For me, it's going to make me want to see this pay-per-view. Not only MJF and Mox, but this is worth paying to see Full Gear. Wardlow and Hobbs. Yeah, the audio's in the background, yo.
Oh, I got audio in the background?
Yeah. You got the video playing.
I got a video playing?
This is a YouTube clip of Hobbs, of Excalibur talking. Wardlow playing.
That's what I'm playing?
Yeah, man.
Hold on.
You showing the clip?
No, the clip's not up.
She knows what's going to happen.
It's on one of those tabs, right?
Yeah, yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm trying to see what that. I'm going to my tab right now, bro. I'm like, what is that?
I thought you knew, man. I'm like, all right, you about to bring this clip up?
No, I have the clip. He said, hold on, am I reading this wrong? He said, sounds like he's going to do it again. The fans want to see it, Excalibur. So do you hear audio?
Yes.
There's been some great concerts in this venue, but there's never been a Powerbomb Symphony.
Do you have a YouTube tab?
Yes, I do have a YouTube tab.
Is there a video playing?
No, it is not. I just closed it. So now I do not have
Still
it.
going.
Alright, so let me show this video.
Is it inside the live?
Yes, I do have it.
Pull it up.
Matt Tavern Ruler. Yeah, it actually, that is it. That is it. Yes. Thank you.
They're not leaving. You're a perfect spot. Let's see it. Let's watch it.
Very talented.
Okay, Powerbomb
No,
Symphony.
we don't need to see him power nobody. He's pinning him. It's over. Matt Taven lost. We know. Matt Taven.
Front row center that time was the head of Matt Taven.
He didn't have to wait in line or nothing. Wardlow's so dominant. Man, we're seeing an individual develop and evolve that many of us have not seen that often.
And Mike Bennett stepped through the ropes, but he thought better of it. And Wardlow, he's going to make it 4. The fourth movement of the Powerbomb Symphony. Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome to Rampage.
Winner of this match and
Oh.
The chop block from behind. What a dastardly, cowardly thing to do by Mike Bennett.
On that bad leg. And Taven just...
Boy, didn't nobody give a fuck about Mike Bennett either, bro. Nigga, ain't nobody cheer or boo or nothing.
Samoa Joe headed to the ring, and he does not look happy.
Ward Joe are together.
One half of Ward Joe, and here he is. Oh, you talking about stiff right hands.
Hey, Shimani.
Thanks for coming.
Samoa Joe can be so dominant, so destructive, and what a team that Ward Joe could make if they spent a lot of time together.
Oh, wait a second. Now, what is
Yes,
this?
sir.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Powerhouse.
Look at the size of this man. Now, who does Hobbs have in his sight?
Anybody he wants, Excalibur, anybody he wants. I think Willie is tired of what he perceives as being overlooked.
Wait a minute, from behind.
Look at this.
The Embassy coming in from behind and attacking Wardlow and Samoa Joe, and now just a 4-on-1, a 5-on-1 beatdown. Yeah, that's the Gates of Agony. That's Brian Cage. And of course, there's the crazy.
Gates of agony.
Gates of agony.
Yeah, Gates of
God
agony.
almighty, things are becoming
I knew there was something.
unwound here.
He said the gates of pain.
Power we got in the ring. Look at the size of these athletes. Powerhouse Hobbs just driving that point of the elbow to the head.
doorway
of
to
Wardlow,
pain.
and Samoa Joe gets taken down.
Joe's
The
head
bridge of
almost
hurt.
coming off. Look at this power,
Spine
power,
buster, man.
dominance.
One of the best in the
We have
business.
to attempt
The
to
best in the
restore
business.
order. The officials are headed to the ring, but remember,
sir.
coming up this Wednesday night at Dynamite, Jon Moxley,
Yes,
Lee
sir.
Moriarty, the AEW World Championship Eliminator match, plus Chris Jericho versus a former Ring of Honor World Champion. The next Friday night, Mike Tyson joins us on Rampage.
Mike Tyson here next week.
That nigga Excalibur still dying on that motherfucker. They ain't listen to me once.
They ain't going to.
Yo, can you stop having this nigga have to read 45 seconds worth of shit in 15? Like, god damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, we're getting Wardlow and Hobbs at Full Gear. I'm here for it, man. Full Gear's turn looking up like it's gonna be a one hell of a show already. I'm down for it. Now, does he win?
He has to.
Okay.
He has to. Listen. I do remember Wardlow saying before he was TNT champion, he wanted the AEW World Heavyweight title. So, why not have him lose it? Propel my man up, whether it be Moxley or MJF, to be the next challenger for the world title.
I think a Wardlow babyface versus a heel Jon Moxley would be an interesting dynamic. And then to see MJF as a babyface as well, you know, saying, hey, listen, I'm up next, but, you know, you're trying to be up next as well. That's what I want to see. I want to see the double turn. I want to see Moxley as a heel, MJF as babyface, and have Wardlow and MJF change the championship and say whoever gets it first is that nigga. So I'm down with it. Yeah, get the title to Wardlow, to Will Hobbs. And I think that we could see the evolution of Will Hobbs. We still got Ricky Starks in the wings. We could see more of that down the line. So Booking Black, Will Hobbs, new TNT champion. But does that give Wardlow a hit? Does that make him look weak?
How does it make him look weak, man? Is hot. The nigga name is Powerhouse Hobbs. Like it ain't. He ain't.
Losing. But you're taking a guy from the mid card championship and saying we're gonna plug him in the main event and lose a mid card championship, which I think we've done before. We've seen that. But do you keep it? Do you just have him lose clean, or you have to have him cheat?
I mean, regardless of the fact, him losing is him losing. And he's not. He still has to have some type of redemption throughout. So, like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He can lose to Will Hobbs clean, per se. But at the end of the day, if Wardlow is endearing and Will Hobbs beats him and is the better man, then, like, that should be appreciated. That, like, okay, he's the better man. Cool. You won that. I can focus on purely what I wanted to focus on from the get-go, which was this world title. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel you. We see a determined Wardlow, and we see what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like a determined Wardlow ran through all the security, ran through MJF, picked up the TNT title. Like, what he wants to do, he does. So if he wants to be like, yo, drop the title, Will Hobbs, you the new big man of the mid card, I'm gonna be the new big man of the motherfucking main card because you ain't there yet and they need somebody there. You know what I'm saying? So
I got you.
I
don't see it being clean though. That's me. Because I just don't see it happening. Moving forward, let's touch on what everything what Conrad's saying real quick. Honestly, I'm more concerned with Conrad. What you think about the situation, because we talked about this ad nauseum on this pod, and at this point, like, I think CM Punk's career is over. That's my take, is I think that his wrestling career is finito because he's been kind of toxic. I'm a huge fan I think that he did give AEW a boost in a time of need, and I think that he kind of fucked up what we could have seen going forward with him and Bryan Danielson getting another match together. Him and working with Kenny Omega, him working with Moxley again, or working with anybody on the list. I think there's so many people that he could have helped elevate. Darby, Sammy, whoever. And I think that he's a guy who he lets his ego get the best of him, in a sense that he has a chip on his shoulder. So there's some people like that. They just have a chip on their shoulder and they are self-sabotaging in a sense. And I'm not saying it's not, warranted even, but as a leader, he's not a leader. That's what it is. He doesn't know how to take the heat. He has to almost defend himself and it kind of will, and when he's fed up, he's fed up. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll just go out and say whatever the fuck he wants. But as a leader of a company, you can't just do that. With Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks situation, they deserve to be suspended, but they'll be back, and Tony Khan will get over it.
But this is my thing. He's not a leader of a company. He's a talent acquisition. And
when you have that title, though, you are one of the people that are representing the company, and you got to act that. So, in my mind, I feel like that. But you're right. You're completely right in the sense of he's a talent acquisition. He is a independent contractor in the actual sense.
Well, I would say not even this. I would just say in the context of I don't know CM Punk clearly, but with having a reputation that precedes you, if it's on you to change that perception on yourself, it's not on anybody else. It's not anybody's, it's not anybody's job or positioning to kind of change their perception of you unless you give them a reason to. I think I said it on the pod, or if we said it on the conversation on the phone, where I was just like, him coming back to AEW with everything that he received, the fanfare-wise, he should have been Cody. He should have been the person like, I would never put myself in the world championship position. I only want to be here to work with the guys. The guys that again, some of the stories are saying the guys that opened the door for him, the guys that say, hey, we're going to give you this second opportunity, him ingratiating himself. It is on a team, right? Football. On a team perspective, right? It's hard to have everything in place. You got offensive line. You got a D-line. You got skill positions. You got running back. You got depth. You got special teams. You got a head coach that's motivated, dedicated. You got a front office that will spin. But the person that is supposed to be the quarterback is egotistical. That's going to rot that fucking team from the core, bro. And to be honest, they have depth at the quarterback position. They can put the ball in Moxley's hands. They can give it to the young guy in MJF. They have Hangman Page, who's a second. Like, they have so much talent that they did not even need to bring in a 45-year-old Tom Brady. They just did that because that's Tom Brady.
But being AEW, you had to. I think that if there's one big acquisition you can make to say, you know what, this means something, he was it. If there was any free agent in the world of wrestling, CM Punk was that dude to bring in. And I don't blame him for bringing him in. It's just how how it worked going forward. Now, nothing happened until Hangman Page spoke and brought it up, like that he had some kind of like problem with the way his promo was, where he said that essentially workers' rights, you're all about workers' rights. But yeah, touching on the whole Colt Cabana situation, about how he kind of got him fired. But if I was Punk, I would have been pissed off too. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, because we don't know what that really meant, you know?
Well,
And-
I mean, I will say this. Again, I don't know Punk.
I know, man. They formed the back for Cult, man. That's crazy.
I will say this. Him always being around for drama is a him thing.
But here's what I would say: it is a him thing because there's a way you respond to things where you don't.
Not
exacerbate
even
it.
that. This is why niggas is talking about you the way you are. You here now. You AEW. Why you sending tweets out about Sasha and Naomi's situation? It don't concern you. It don't need to involve you. It don't have nothing to do with no remnants, is no residual, is no nothing to do with you. And the reason why I bring that up is because this, in your new home, in your new house, again, your reputation precedes you, brother. You not doing enough to give them enough to say that you have the trust to do what you're doing. CM Punk, we don't know what he's doing, but they do know. Adam Hangman Page do know. Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks do know. So when they come out and comment on the shit that he's doing and say, hey, man, it look a little performative on your end, brother.
Listen, I love the sauce. I love the drama. I love this, all that shit. Because I think people should come out there and promos and speak their truth. I like that. I like that with AEW. The people come out there and they say what they need to say. Heyman got in trouble for saying that they said he went into business for himself and all that stuff. But what CM Punk did was come out there weeks later. It's like 6 weeks after the whole thing, after he's already won the title. And instead of being a leader and not going into business for himself and just saying, hey, listen, we're going to handle this backstage, he went out there and called him out like randomly and went into business for himself, which is crazy.
That's
me,
the hypocrisy.
You know? Exactly. It's hypocrisy.
And that's why, Conrad, to your point, when you say Hangman got nothing, Hangman got his receipt, brother. That's what he got. He got his receipt. That's what he got. He got something.
But Hangman got his receipt and then got a concussion and then lost his time championship. That's all for that. All for fucking CM Punk. You know, that's crazy.
I see the concussion is not correlated, but
I know, but like I'm saying, the trajectory of being AEW championship, you know, losing the championship to CM Punk, then getting called out by all this drama shit, and then you know, having to just deal with it, people talking outside of your name, and then getting the concussion, and now you're off TV again. He's had a rough couple of months, man, and the man has had a rough couple of months. So shout out to Hangman Page for dealing with all this, like, you know, like a man, you know. But I don't think what he said was too bad, like him saying workers' rights and all that stuff. But if it was insinuating to something with Colt Cabana and then it got rumors leaked, I can see why CM Punk is mad. At the end of the day, if it's not true, if it don't apply, let it fly. Handle that shit backstage. Don't call him out in a press conference, because that is right after you won the title. Right after, like, you didn't even wait. No time after you become, now you're officially AEW champion again, and the leader of the company. You use that moment to then call out a dude saying he, you know, a former friend, and air his dirty laundry, saying he has a bank account with his mom. It's just petty shit, you know. So there is a hypocrisy with CM Punk that I can't necessarily vibe with, but I do think that he's a talent. I think he's a star in his own right. I do think that the business has evolved, and I think that he, not necessarily that he is evolved past him, but I think he doesn't necessarily fit the locker room of AEW, and that maybe he needs to move on, and he doesn't know his role, you know. And that's the thing with CM Punk. I don't think he's ever really known his role. He always wanted to be seen as something else than he is, and I think he just needs to accept where he's at and enjoy the ride some of the times.
I would say this: a great philosopher by the name of Curtis Jackson had once said, if you live in a glass, you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And if you have a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth, because I'll break your face. Have your ass running, mumbling
to the Jakes.
You going
You against me, dog. You making a mistake. See, you're looking like the Michael Jackson jackets with all them zippers.
Yo, that nigga hangs their face. Said, stop throwing stones because you live in a glass house. And he said, I seen your 2 UFC fights, my nigga. You got a glass jaw. You need to watch your fucking mouth. Because I'll break your motherfucking face, nigga.
And then,
And look who's running, mumbling to the fucking Jakes right now. Get your bitch ass out of AEW forever, Phil Brooks, nigga.
I don't,
Get out of here, nigga.
and now we're getting storylines of his dog and all this. Listen, none of this fuck his dog. Listen, at the end of the day, none of this would have happened if you didn't run your mouth. None of this wouldn't have happened if you didn't just go to them backstage instead of calling people out. You know, like who cares about Colt Cabana's bank account? Like it's just with a bad look, you know. And it's just a guy who doesn't drink. So like it's like why the fuck are you just so loose at the mouth? It's like it doesn't make no sense. But it's crazy. He don't need to drink, I guess, because it will probably be a bad look. But listen, I wish the best for CM Punk. Honestly, I wish the best for all of them. Hangman and the Young Bucks, they'll be back. I think that they do have the culpability in this if they did leak shit to the you know the dirt sheets. If that is true, if it's false,
but leak what? They ain't leak shit. Like who gives a fuck? Like, ooh, somebody told. Like I mean, like what did they leak? Like what did they leak? Like
not even if they didn't leak, but you know, getting into a fight in the first place, like just you got to handle things better as EVP. You know, like come on, you want to be EVP and all that shit. There's ways to handle this better. You don't just brawl. And you know, so I'm glad that they did get a punishment. They got suspended, and they'll be back in a little bit, and things will move on.
Speaking of moving on, is there anything else on the pop?
Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross.
You can talk about it. I'm good on that.
Listen, what's your beef with Nikki Cross, man? Listen, the old school Nikki Cross, the character, what she did, like when in NXT, maybe you didn't fuck with it. I fuck with it, you know. And her return on Raw, I thought
it didn't need to end Raw. It wasn't that big of a deal, and you know they want to make it, so I guess you know.
Hey man, she's back to being unhinged. I'm curious to see where it goes. Honestly, the Raw Women's Division needs another.
I mean, she spent most of her time beating the shit out of Bayley. So, like, is she a baby or a fucking heel?
I mean, she beat up Bianca first, let Bayley celebrate a little bit, and then because she's not aligned with Bayley, beat her ass too because she's unhinged.
I mean, she ended the show beating the shit out of Bayley. I'm like, damn, are you going?
But Bianca lost the match. She cost Bianca the match, though. She's a heel. But she cost Bianca the match.
I guess. What I know is I would rather see, you know, Bayley leave Raw and go. And when you mentioned who's Ronda competitor, I would like to see Bayley and Ronda as a filler until Becky gets back. You know what I'm saying? I know Becky's hurt with the elbow or with, you know, her shoulder from the last match with Bianca. So I would like to see Bayley go over and be a filler for Ronda one time down, but a babyface Charlotte just looks inevitable right now. But with Nikki, man, yeah, Nikki and Bianca can hold it down. You know what I'm saying? I think that's, you know, keep stacking up those challengers because ultimately, I think we got to give Bianca Mercedes Part 2 at WrestleMania in LA. I think that's where they going.
No, I need Bianca Charlotte 1-on-1. We've already seen that at WrestleMania, and she won. Now we get to see her defeat the Queen at WrestleMania, and then she's defeated all 4 horsewomen. That's what I'm waiting for.
You think they're gonna have Charlotte and Bianca at WrestleMania?
Absolutely. Somehow, some way, Charlotte's gonna win the Royal Rumble
again. That's trash. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Who would you pick? What, Bianca? I mean, Sasha wins it, and then goes to face Bianca.
I would say if we get in a big pop, have Naomi win it.
Naomi versus Bianca at WrestleMania.
That would be fire for me.
I like it. I like it. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I would love to see Io win it. You know, but
EOS,
that's like she's not there yet. But I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't care. Just throw everybody for a loop. It's like if you really go by the concept of the Royal Rumble, anybody's could win it, right? Like in my mind, I look at everybody on the field.
if you throwing the concept of that, nigga, just bring Nia back to win it. How
I
about
thought
that?
about that too, but she ain't coming back there. Though. She don't fuck with them.
She might trip her guy.
Oh yeah, maybe. I mean, she's not like most girls, so maybe she can go out there and have a
I
moment
mean,
again.
hell, Emma's back, brother. You know what I'm
If
saying?
she came back, I would want her to come back with the bloodline, or her or Naomi or Tamina got to join the bloodline. The bloodline need one female. I think that would be cool as an enforcer to win the
See,
women's
Tamina,
championship.
she ain't doing shit.
All right.
Just get Tamina. He in the giving, you know, Roman in the giving the family check. So just let Tamina come around and hold it down. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think she'll be a nice little added piece.
She used to manage the Usos, so that'd be awesome. Yeah, that's how they entered.
Circle moment.
Yeah, full circle. Yeah,
As Big E comes in and as Big E and Solo squares off in the tag team match for all tag teams, right? Big E gets rid of Solo, shows that he like, yeah, I'm back, and all of a sudden, oh, to the back of the neck, what is that? Who is that? It's Tamina.
no, it has to be the China low blow to the and then he's like, oh,
The
and then
low, nah, Tamina don't do low blows. She a oos.
super kick.
Yeah.
Listen, if you Tamina better not be Samoa dropping Big E. I'm like, all right, nah, y'all killing Big E.
Tamina come super kick Big E new neck off, my nigga. That shit gonna be fire.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about. The women's divisions, I think, are you know, they're in transition period. I'm looking forward to Last Man Standing with Bailey and Bianca because they got chemistry. I'm down to see that crown jewel. I'm tuning in, but maybe
And
not live because it's on Friday.
It's about damn time we get them to have that
The match.
statement.
That's when they
were gonna have an I Quit match, but Last Man Standing still fits. I like it.
They were supposed to have I Quit.
Yeah, they were supposed to have an I Quit
Okay.
match. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, they just had an I Quit match with Finn and Edge, so I get why they doing
All
it.
right.
I fuck with it. Yeah, man. Crown Jewel look like it's gonna slap. No, can't hold you. You mentioned Bianca Bailey. We got Brock, Bobby.
Omos.
We got Omos and
Braun.
We got Roman Logan. We got motherfucking Usos and Battling Brutes. I mean, it seems to be a rounded out card. You know what I'm saying? So that shit next week. So hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll be working at the time, but I'll definitely be tuning in. If not, I'll definitely tune in afterwards and check the whole thing out. But I gotta see more than anything. Like honestly, the Logan Paul Roman match, I'm gonna watch it, but it's not like my most looking forward to match. I want to see the tag match. Bianca and Bailey really is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Out of everything.
I can't even lie, man. I can't even put them. I gotta see Bobby Brock.
Oh shit! I almost forgot about that.
If y'all gonna give it to me the way y'all supposed to give it to me, then I'm waiting.
Nah, Bobby Brock, you're right. Those two matches, I gotta tune in for.
You talking bees? Bobby Brock, Bianca, Bailey. Throw your bees up.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. Shit, man. That's it, right? Like, you know what I'm
saying? That's it. Yeah, that's it. I think that wraps the show for the week. We're a little bit late again, but better late than never. Part 2, and I think this episode called Trust. You just gotta trust your boys, EIW, Brisbane Wrestling, because we will be here. You gotta trust Bray Wyatt with his creativity. You gotta trust.
I put the name of the episode Better Late Than Never. That is fire. Actually, you said that. Yeah, trust.
Yeah.
Trust. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to 38 Special. Trust. Yeah,
Big trust.
Big trust.
Big trust. But
Yeah.
that's all there is. There's no business and logic this week. I know there was some business going down, but we'll touch on it on Thursday.
Yo, listen, one time down, if you smoke, get you a pack of EIW, a joint roll of Ayatollahs at EIWshop.com. You know what I'm saying? Get you some papers. You know, roll you up one.
Roll
And
you
if
up one.
Shout out to the Cowboys. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Let's ride. Let's ride. Unlimited.
Yeah.
Listen.
It's unlimited,
Listen,
my nigga.
listen, I'm a cautious Jets fan. Check out the Jets Patriots tomorrow. So we'll check out the Cowboys and see what they're doing. And they got to get through the freaking Eagles first. So let's see. Let's have them do that first, and we'll take it baby steps.
Listen, I know we ain't gonna win the division, man, but the wild card.
If they win the wild card, they're still gonna get smacked out in a divisional round. I mean, in the conference championship match. Yeah. I mean,
we're hoping somebody takes out Philly before we get to them. That's
if you make it to the conference championship, I'm gonna be proud of y'all for real, because I didn't expect. I'm gonna be proud of Dak. I will. I'll be proud of Dak if y'all make it there. And I know y'all gonna win, but I'm gonna be happy for y'all.
Shout out to my nigga Dakota, man. One time down.
Yeah, but that's been a wrap. All is love. Everything is wrestling, and we will see y'all. I promise on Thursday at 4:20. With your boys, Chitty Bang and the Most High. Peace out. Y'all have a great week and happy football Sunday.